guys, it's Ray here from RWellCoach and EpicDroid.com, and we're here to look at two cases for the OnePlus 5 from my friends over at Milken. This here is their Ultra Slim case, and this is probably my favorite case from Milken. I like it an awful lot. I have it currently as my primary case on my Honor 9. I have used it on my Galaxy S8 and several other devices, and I have always really liked this case. I also like this case here. It's their synthetic fiber case. It's a great case. However, I was a little bit disappointed with this one for the OnePlus 5. I believe that the issues that I'm having are just with this case in particular, not the model as a whole, but just with this particular case. It's peeling up here in the corner, and I think that could just be fixed with a little bit of glue there. And then there was a little bit of damage here in this bottom right corner. Overall, it's still a great case. I'll cover it here in just a second, but just wanted you guys to know up front, this one is definitely my favorite. So let's go ahead and we'll cover this one here first. One of the nice things they do is they send you a cheap screen protector in here. This isn't a liquid skin or a tempered glass one. It's just one of those flimsy plastic ones. However, it is just a nice little extra thing they throw in there. I mean, when you're paying $9 for a case, you don't expect very much, but it's nice that they throw in that little extra just to give you that additional protection on your device. Now, this case here, one of the things I like about it is the way that it's designed. I like the fact that it's a hard case and it's a super thin case. So it's a hard case, so it's not going to offer your device a lot of protection from falls or from being thrown across the room or whatnot. But what it does do is it makes it so that your phone is super grippy and you're never going to be dropping your phone when you're using this case. So let's go to, we're going to put that on our OnePlus 5 real quick. Now when you do it, because there is this little teensy lip here between the button hole and the top of the case, you do want to make sure that you put that in very carefully. I like to put it in with the power button first and then just push that down in. As you can see, it gave a little bit of resistance there. It gives it to you either way, whichever side you do first. Just be careful so that you're not breaking it. Just be gentle. So as far as the rest of the case goes, it's a very grippy case. I like the sides of it here. It has a smooth rubber texture across the top half here, and it has it on this other side as well. The back here, we have a texture to it, and it's a, I don't even know what you would call it, but it's almost like a sandstone, but not really a sandstone. It's got some raised bumps to it, almost more like a concrete feel. And it's a really comfortable feel. I like it an awful lot, and it's a very grippy case. We have here on the back, we have the cutouts for the cameras, for the flash, as well as this microphone there. It looks great. There's no problems with any of that. It's snug right up against it, so you're not going to be causing any damage to it. Another thing I like is with the OnePlus 5, it has a raised camera bump, and so what this does is it comes just above that, so that the back of the phone is completely flat, so it's not going to be bouncing all over the place because of that camera bump, and it protects it so you can put it face down, on the back down without scratching the camera lens. And I found that a lot of the thinner cases for the OnePlus 5, that sticks out just a teensy bit, or it's perfectly flush with it, so you're getting a lot of scratches on that lens. Here on the bottom, we do just have a nice big cutout there, so it's not anything super fancy. I mean, it is just a piece of plastic that's missing. The one thing that I did have a problem with on this one was with the headphone jack. It's really snug up against the back of it here, so if you're using a headphone jack that's got a shallower plug to it, you will find issues using that, and it will lower the sound quality in your headphones. If you do have one that's a little bit longer, you won't have any problems, but just something to be aware of if you like to use your headphones an awful lot. I would recommend looking at a pair of Bluetooth headphones just because they're a lot more convenient and you don't have to run into that problem with any phone. Here you have the speaker, the USB-C charging port. There were no issues with those. Here up top you have the same cutout, there's nothing for it there, but then on the side you have the cutouts for the slider, no problems using that. You have the other cutout for the volume, no problem with that, and then you have the cutout for the power. So all in all, this one's a really awesome case. I really like it, and for $9 and an extra screen protector thrown in there, you can't really go wrong. Now the case is a little bit harder to get off. Just be careful with it like you were when you were putting it on so that you don't break those pieces of plastic. Just get that off there and you're good to go. So now we have this one, and you can see with this one, it is also a little bit harder. It's a stiffer case. It's not as stiff as the other one was, but overall it's a very comfortable feeling and a very nice looking case. So we're going to put that on. Now this one I would do with the volume and the power button first, just because it's a little bit tighter on those ones. And be careful again because they have the same thing. I just stick my fingernail down in there and pull it up so I can get that over the power button without any issues. Once you get this one on, it is very difficult to get it off. So make sure it's the case that you want on, or just be careful when you take it off so that you don't break the case in the process of taking it off. Now the case here, the first thing that you'll notice is this back to it. It is a synthetic fiber back, and it feels awesome. It's got kind of a rubbery feel to it. I don't know quite what it's made out of, but it's a very comfortable one. It feels great, and it looks awesome. I really like the look of it there. The cutout here for the back, it's a little bit bigger than the one, actually it's quite a bit bigger, but it has the same thing where it sits, and if you put it down, you're going to be able to put that face not face down, I keep saying face down, you're going to be able to put it with the back down without having any of that wobble that you would get from the camera bump on its own. The power button on this one is a little bit harder to use. I mean, as you can see there, it's not super hard, but it does get in the way if you're at the wrong angle. It just makes it a little bit harder to use. There's no issues using the slider, no issues using the volume. It's just with that power button that I had the issues. Here on the bottom, you have a cutout, and you have a cutout for the USB-C charging port, for the headphone jack, as well as for the speaker. Now, the headphone jack on this one, it is a little bit more open, so you don't have the same problem you did with the other case. Now, the one thing I did mention earlier is I do have a little bit of a problem with this particular case, not the case design, but for whatever reason, mine here has this corner that's just coming up just a little bit. I am going to glue it down here after the video, and that should stick. I don't have any worries about that, but just for whatever reason, that one came with that little piece coming up. And then this piece here, you can see that it had been squished or something happened to it, and there's just a little bit of damage right there in that corner. It's still a great case. I definitely like it. It's a grippier case. It's a little bit slicker on the sides than the other case was. However, it's still awesome, and just with that back, I really like that back, and I really like the look of that. This one goes for $14, so you have this one for $14, or you have this one for $9. They're both great options if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper and a little bit more guaranteed that it's not going to have anything like this corner. This one is definitely the one to go with. But if you're looking for something that stands out a little bit more, and if you're okay with the possibility of maybe getting a corner like that, then this would be a good one for you as well. So we'll have links to where you can order both these cases down in the video description down below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit us up down there in the comment section. We'll reply as soon as we are available. If you don't already, please remember to subscribe to us on Twitter and YouTube so you can stay up to date with all of our latest content. And as always, just want to tell you guys, thank you for watching, thank you for all your support, and you all have an awesome day.